Hi everyone, my name's Elizabeth. Welcome to my first Flosstube video. I thought I would start my channel by doing a whip parade. I have a lot of whips. So I kind of have notes, that's what I'm gonna look down at a lot, so I'm sorry. I'm very nervous. I'm pretty shy, so I don't know. Yeah, bear with me. I've been wanting to do one of these videos for a long time. I've started filming one many times in the last year or so, but every time I do, I'm just too nervous to finish or post it or anything. So I thought, well, it's a brand new year, might as well start something new. And I figured January would be a good time. I know a lot of people do whip parades in January, so yeah. I want to start out with talking a little bit about me. Like I said, my name's Elizabeth. I'm 28. I just got married in November, so yay, that was exciting. It was exciting. I work from home primarily, luckily, and I'm an EKG technician. I love my job. It can get boring sometimes because I'm doing the same thing a lot, but it's a different experience every report I do. So but yeah, I luckily get to work for a company that lets me work at home, and I really enjoy that. I used to work at a place doing the same thing where I worked in office, and that was before COVID. And then when COVID started, we got to start working at home, and I really liked that. And then I moved companies, and luckily now I can work from home mostly full-time, which I love that. It makes stitching a lot easier. I get to stitch on my lunch break a lot of the time, which I really enjoy. Let's see, hobbies. I obviously cross stitch, and then I like sewing a little bit. I quilt. I've made one quilt completely from start to finish. And I have mostly finished a Christmas quilt that I'm really excited to hopefully finish up for the end of this year. But I backed it in this really thick fabric it's so warm, so I don't know. Okay, this is gonna be all out of order because I don't remember what I've said and what I haven't said. But I live in Texas, Houston area, and so it's mostly warm here all the time. It's actually nice outside today, which is great. And I've always lived here my whole life. I've never lived anywhere else. I've been to lots of different states growing up, but never lived anywhere other than the area I live in now. And let's see, I also crochet. I've actually finished a blanket. I was gonna put it back here, but maybe I'll do that in my next video. It's really pretty. It's a ripple style blanket. But yeah, that's the only thing I've finished lately. I've known how to crochet a very long time since, sorry, my nose is, it goes cold and hot here, like chilly, hot, so now my nose is all drippy. Anyway, I've known how to crochet my whole life, like since maybe I was 7 years old, maybe. My grandma taught me, and then my mom can crochet also. And my grandma also quilted when I was young. She doesn't quilt anymore, but she wants to, she just doesn't. And she's always encouraged me to start quilting, and my sister, actually, my younger sister, picked it up before me, and she's made many baby quilts for people for gifts and things like that, and quilts for herself, and you know, one day I was like, oh well, I'll try it, and I liked it too. It took me a very long time to finish my first quilt. I started it before COVID and didn't finish it until COVID, so that was fun. But for me, I don't know, I hate cutting out the fabric. That's the worst part. Sewing it is okay, and the finished product is the part I like the most about quilting, so I don't know. I'd love to do more. I just don't really have the space right now to have my sewing machine out 24/7. So it's hard for me to get motivated to quilt or to sew. But as you'll see, as I go through my whips, I have many cross-stitch project bags that I've made myself. Okay, so other than that, I am a big reader. I read a lot. Most of the time in the evenings after work, I will spend time with my husband. We'll play video games or do something nerdy like that, and or he'll play video games while I'm cross stitching, or I'll watch TV while I'm cross stitching, and then maybe for like an hour or two before I go to sleep, I'll read. Usually I read on my phone, ebooks and stuff, or I'll listen to audiobooks during the day while I'm working. I do that a lot. But I've read, I think I read 63 books last year. So that's a good amount. I read at least once a week, every week, the whole year long. I was very proud of that. I was like, oh, that's awesome. But yeah, so, but my main thing is cross stitch. And, we also, my husband and I have a small business. We both work full time and have the small business, where it's called Ravenshire Hobby. We sell, anime figures for like Japanese animation and things like, and video games and stuff like that. And we go to conventions and sell them, and it's fun. And I didn't know anything about any of that until I knew him, and now like I probably know more about it than he does. But I'm very involved, and we go to conventions pretty often. I would say last year I think we went to 12 or 14, something like that. But most of them were all pushed together, like we'd go like 2 or 3 weekends in 1 month, and then, you know, but this year we're going to be doing more spread out, but still about the same amount, which it's exhausting. So I don't get as much stitching time as I would like. I also am a slow stitcher. Excuse me. I stitch in hand. When I started stitching, I never started with a hoop or any kind of stand or anything. I just naturally started stitching by hand, and I thought that was the most comfortable way for me. Since then, since I've watched Flosstube, since I've been on Instagram and everything like that, I've tried buying embroidery hoops and stitching in them, and I do not like it. Like, for me, it is uncomfortable, and I can't handle it. So I like to stitch in hand. But if you like a hoop, that's totally fine. I think they're beautiful when they're finished and they're hung in hoops. I think it's beautiful. I don't like it's not comfortable to me. But yeah, no one in my family cross-stitched that I'm aware of before me. I'm the first one that picked it up. I was on Pinterest one day back, I think in 2016 or 2017, and I saw this project, and it was like a little witchy pillow, like little pillow, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cute, what is that? And it was cross stitch, and I was like, I've never heard of this before. And so I just went and bought a little kit at Hobby Lobby or Michael's or Joann's or something like that, and I still have that kit. I have never finished it because I don't know, I just moved on to different things, different projects. But I have it. I don't have it pulled out right now to show you my WIP Parade because I don't know if I'll ever finish it, but one day maybe in a video I'll pull it out and show if anybody's interested in seeing it. It's just it's like a little kitten in a pumpkin, and it's a Halloween piece. And actually, I don't even know how it happened, but that kit came with the white Ada required to stitch it. And I don't know what happened, but when I look at the piece now, I actually looked at it recently, I stitched it on an even weave. So even from then, I had a preference, I guess. I don't know. I have stitched some projects on Ada. I prefer even weave and linen. I used to only like to do 28 count or 14 count. But now my preferred count is usually 36 or 32 count linen. And it changes. As you'll see, a lot of my projects are on different counts of different pieces and things like that. But yeah, I also share my progress on Instagram, and I don't know, I'm kind of bad at updating it. I try to update when I have actual progress to show on pieces or finishes, and I'm a slow stitcher, so I don't get finishes that often. And when I do, it's like very exciting. But I'm gonna put my Instagram link down below, and if you'd like to go check it out or follow me, that would be great. Anyway, I guess I will get started showing my WIP Parade. I have a whole basket here of WIPs, and then I have more on my bed, and it's a hot mess already, and we haven't even started, so yeah. I'm not gonna go in any order, I guess. Maybe I can show my most recent stuff I've been working on and then move into the basket. The basket sits behind, in front of me, on top of this little, this little storage thing I have, and I don't really do anything with the stuff in the basket unless I feel like working on it. So yeah, I have too many WIPs and not enough time, but I want to stitch all the things, so what can I say? Okay, this is a bag from Dot Dot Goose that I bought on Etsy, I'm pretty sure. I'm not gonna remember where all the bags are from, I'm sorry in advance. And I haven't ironed anything, I'm very sorry. I don't know if you can see in here the fabric, but the reason why I bought it is because it's the Teresa Kogut. Let me move the paper out of the way. The Teresa Kogut fabric. I thought it was so pretty. She has a cross stitch piece. For the Love of Nature, I believe is the name of it, and I love it, but I haven't started it yet. And I have the pattern, I just haven't started it. So this project in here is it's the Dark Queen of the Earth by Autumn Lane Stitchery, and I am not caught up, but I am getting there. And it's not ironed again, I'm sorry. I haven't ironed anything, so we'll see how it goes. Let me move the needle minder 1 second. I'm sorry. I am very nervous. Okay, this is as far as I've gotten on her. I can't see. There we go. So I finished part 1, 2, 4, and I'm almost done with part 3. I was done with that leg on or that part of her leg on when part 4 came out. So when part 4 came out, I just started working on that since it was right there. And then now that part 5 has come out, it's on this side. Then I will finish part 3 and move on to part 5. But yeah, this is what I've been working on mostly every day during my lunch break and in the evenings. But this week I just haven't been in a stitchy mood that much, so I didn't work on it that much this week. But yeah, I love her. She's beautiful. I've also stitched the Dark Queen of the Sea. I haven't finished it yet either, but that one, we'll get to it. I'll show you. I got very far, and I couldn't decide on the hair and all that stuff, so it got stuck behind. Anyway, I'm using all the called for threads. I'm using Adam Hart cross stitch floss bobbins. Each of the heart bobbins, they're the clear acrylic ones. And I don't know if you've ever seen these little metal, they're not like the binder rings. They're like wire rings that they screw together. I really like them. I put 2 of them together to make it big enough to hold all the threads for this one, but I bought a bunch of these recently and I've been changing them out in some of my projects that I've been stitching on. So yeah, I prefer to have my cross stitch, words are hard, my floss stored this way. That's just my preference. At one time I had them all on bobbins, and as I go back through patterns, you'll see I still have a lot of them on bobbins. But I just prefer to hang them and pull them off one piece at a time. I really prefer that method. Okay, next one. Again, I'm not sure what these are and which one. Okay, this one is the Bonkers Sow. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't put a picture. I don't know if I have pictures for all of these. Some of them I will and some of them I won't. I recently started using my iPad for the patterns to mark off, and I really like doing that, so I haven't been printing off the patterns. So I'm sorry, I don't have a whole picture. But I'm sure most of you have seen these because most of them are pretty popular pieces. Okay, and don't mind all the loose threads I have on hanging on pieces, because that's what I do apparently. So I've gotten very far on this. This is the Bonkers Sow by Barbara Anna. Yes, I had to think, sorry. And I finished part 1 and I've started part 2. Oh, here we go. And I decided to stitch it on this really light fabric and back stitch parts around where it would be too light to tell what was happening. And this fabric is, hold on, it's Picture This Plus Bramble 32 count is what this is. It's beautiful. And it's showing pretty true to color in the lighting. I love it. I haven't worked on this one in a little while. I have a couple Barbaranas that I haven't finished yet, but I want to. So, yeah. And I'm using all the called for threads. Again, Adam Hart cross stitch, floss bobbins. And this is just in a one of those little zipper bags from Amazon. I bought some of these recently and I really like them. I have a couple projects stored in this bag. And then this one, I have a needle sticking through it, is Una's Urn by, hold on, I don't remember. I gotta look on my iPad. Let me see. One second. Rebel Stitcher? Yeah, by Rebel Stitcher. The finished one will look like this. I know it's a little bit hard to see, but I love that. And I've gotten pretty far on it too. This is also on Bramble. I cut the piece of fabric I had and used it for both projects. I'm not using any of the called for threads for this one. I'm using stuff out of my stash that I had. I'm in the Color and Cotton, one of their thread clubs, so I get their flosses every month. And I know that a couple of these in here are Color and Cotton threads. But yeah, anyway, moving on. I'm sorry for all the zipping noises. Oh, this one is, these are also, okay, these are Classic Colorworks and Color and Cotton. These are the threads I'm using for the Una's Urn piece. If you want to know which ones they are, just message me and I can tell you. But yeah, sorry for all the zipping noises. If that bothers you, I'm so sorry. But I gotta put it back up or it will be a whole mess and it will never get put up and everything will get mixed mashed together. Okay, I'm gonna make a stack of ones we've done and ones we haven't been through. Okay, this one I believe I do have a picture of. Oh, this is in a bag that I made myself from some fabric I think I got from Joann's. Yeah, and I got this little cactus zipper thing at Michael's. I thought it was so cute. But this is, I do have a picture of it. Hold on. This is Baby Boards and Japanese Flowers by Gira, I think. I got it on Creative Poppy, where you buy Barbara Anna's patterns at. It's not a picture of really the whole design, but you get the idea. It's very cute. I love it. I've gotten very far. I just need to sit down and finish it and it will be done. I changed the colors of the baby boars. I wanted them to stand out better on this fabric. And this is a 28 count water lily, Jobelin, I think. Witchelt, maybe, I think, or something like that. I can't remember. But as you can see, I'm going to show you. I have stored my flosses many different ways. And at one time I was making my own floss cards and storing them like that. But until I discovered Adam Hart cross stitch and I started buying her floss, her floss bobbins. But my favorite thread ever, my favorite thread is the Gentle Art Peacock. I love this color. It is so beautiful. It's my favorite floss color of every floss I've ever seen, my favorite one. So I bought this, and then I don't know if it's in here. I bought it as a silk, I believe, as well, somewhere. It's somewhere. I think it's a different project. But yeah, and this is the inside fabric of that bag I made. And I used a tutorial on YouTube. I don't remember who the original person I watched tutorial was from, but I've also watched Elizabeth Ann Stitch's tutorial about making project bags at one time. But I made these a long time ago, like a couple years ago. And every bag I've ever made has turned out perfect for me. They're not perfect in stitching lines or anything, but perfect for my needs. I'm not the best sewing machine stitcher, I guess. I don't know how you say that, but I try. The only time I've ever made a project bag and it didn't go well was I found this thread that was this fabric that was flannel, and it was like a baby fabric for babies, but it was so cute. It had like little woodland animals on it, and I was like, oh, that would be so cute to do a project bag with. So I bought some, and the way it was just so thin, and when I sewed it together it just ripped apart really easy, so it was very sad. Okay, moving on. All right, this is another bag that I made myself from some fabrics from Joann's or Michael's or somewhere, I don't know. But as you can see, the lines are not perfect, but I love it. Another little drop thing from Michael's. And this is Barbara Anna's Winged Dreams. Uh-oh, loose thread. I don't know if I have a picture of, let me see. That's the pattern. Most of the time I'll just print the pattern. I won't print the image, so I'm sorry. If I don't have a picture of it, I'm sure you know what it looks like. It's very beautiful. I was doing really well on this, and then I got distracted by something else, so of course that's what happened. And I'm stitching this on 36 count color and cotton 36 count Tinsmith Edinburgh linen, I believe is what the color is called. And it's just this really pretty gray, and that's as far as I've gotten. It's hard to show. It's so tiny. It will be so cute. There's Krynick in here, or I believe it's Krynick. Yeah. But I've gotten, I would say, about halfway-ish, at least with the, or maybe not halfway, a little bit less than halfway. But yeah, I love it. It's so tiny. But yeah, okay. That's all I have in this bag. Moving on. Looking at these makes me want to stitch on them again, but I've been trying to keep caught up with the darker Queen of the Earth. So, okay. This is another bag. Uh-oh, I have hair on this bag from myself. Okay, this is another bag I made from some fabric from, I think this fabric was from Hobby Lobby. I bought it a long time ago. Thought it was cute. Put some, oh, well, you can, hold on. I put some, it sticks to it. I put polka dot in the background. Anyway, this is on a 36 count Silver Moon fabric. There's two pieces in here. This is the it was the Stitch for Ukraine piece that Stitch Sprout made. And okay, this is how far I've gotten. It's beautiful. I really want to finish it. I had finished almost the entire flower. There's a flower in the center. I had finished almost the entire flower, and then when I was going around doing the rest of the blue border, I thought I had messed up in counting and missed a stitch and something, and I was like, oh no, that's not gonna work because the flower, and I had to rip it out. And then I ripped it out and finished the border and realized the flower was in the right spot. So I was very upset and very annoyed. So I haven't gone back because the flower is very dense yellow stitching, and I haven't gone back and finished it. But I love it, and I love this fabric. I'm not sure the dyer or the people that do it, I just have a little tag that says Silver Moon. I bought it on Etsy. I can't remember what store, but I buy fabric from her all the time. And I don't know, I'm not using the called for threads for this. I'm using them out of my stash. Because I'm also in a, I'm not only in a color and cotton thread club, but I'm in a classic colorworks thread club as well. So I've been trying to replace DMC with the fancy floss to get it out of my stash to use it because it's so pretty. But sometimes if I don't feel like it, I'll just use the DMC that's required. Just depends what kind of mood I'm in. I like DMC too. There's nothing wrong with it. It's beautiful. And the next project I have in this bag is, I don't know if any of you stitch anything by her, but Innocent Bones, her name is Grace. Her patterns are beautiful. I love her stuff. I just finished I have subscribed to her mood box, so I think it's once a quarter, I think you get a box. Or something like that, or maybe it's bi-monthly. I don't think it's bi-monthly. I think it's once a quarter. And the most recent one was this beautiful piece that had butterflies and moths on it, and it was small, so I finished it very quickly over the before the Christmas. But this is the stitch along that she did this past year. This is also stitched on that Silver Moon fabric, 36 count, and I haven't finished it yet, but this is as far as I've gotten. It's very pretty. I don't know if you can tell. The black is, there you go. The black is like a shimmery, that etoile black that DMC does. Anyway, I love this piece. I just haven't finished it yet. And I don't have a picture of this one because it's on, oh, actually, I might have a picture on my iPad. Let me see. No, I don't have a picture on my iPad. Okay. That's wonderful. Anyway, but yeah, it's beautiful. I want to finish it. But again, there's been other things that have occupied my time, so I haven't had a chance. We are 27 minutes in. I'm sorry if I'm boring. But these are my threads for this. Again, I haven't moved these over. This is another way I was cutting out the thread cards on my Cricut and storing them this way. I've done so many different ways of storing my thread. I can't decide. My favorite one now is the Adam Hart cross stitch thing, and I'll probably forever be liking those. So, okay. I have no idea how many whips I have, so sorry. This is another bag I've made myself. It's a cute fabric I got from Hobby Lobby or Michael's. I don't remember. Or Joann's. This is how far I've gotten on the Dark Queen of the Sea. I have gotten very far, but not finished her yet. So I couldn't decide what color hair I wanted to give her. So she doesn't have a head yet. And she has thread hanging from her, so I'm sorry. This is as far as I've gotten. Using all the called for threads and the called for fabric. She is beautiful. She is really big. I love her. I love stitching on her, but it's a lot of stitching, and now that the Dark Queen of the Earth has started, my focus has been on her because I really want to stay as caught up with her as I can. And I would take out the thread. Well, let me see if I can. Here's the thread for her. All the called for threads. Here's one of those little wire rings I was talking about. Very pretty. Very pretty. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, this one, I don't remember where I bought this bag from, but I didn't make this bag. I bought it from somebody. I saw it on Instagram or Etsy, and I love the fabric. And I'm sorry, but I buy too many, so I can't remember who I got it from. But this is the fabric. I loved it. I thought it was beautiful. This is why I love sewing, because I love the fabrics. Like, I'm addicted to buying fabric. It's really a problem. Okay, so what is in here? This one is Light by Barbara Anna. It's a freebie. And this is stitched on Weeks Havana 36 count. I think I saw Bendy Stitchy Michelle stitched hers on this, and I was like, oh my god, beautiful, I love it. And she did a sulky conversion, so I also did a sulky conversion for this as well. This is what it will look like when it's finished. And I'm sorry I don't have a picture for every one of them, but this is as far as I've gotten on her. And again, I have threads hanging, so I'm sorry. So I have a little bit of backstory on this piece. I think she's so pretty. I love her. I just was working on it the other day. I really want to get back to finishing her. But yeah, I have a lot of Barbara Annas I haven't finished yet. My husband and I, in the fall, we participate in a charity streaming event for our small business, and it's called Extra Life, and we have people donate, and we donate to charity for it. And last year, not last year, the year before last now, because it's 2023 now, but last year, the year before last year, I'm sorry, in 2021, we participated, and you do a 24-hour live stream. And we did that with our friends, and we played a game called Little Misfortune. That's the name of the game. And I played it. My husband picked it, and I played it. And that game, if you cry easily, or if any kind of game, if you get sad by things easily, do not play that game. It is very sad. I cried, but there is a fox in that game, and his name is Benjamin. So now, every fox we come across or see, or any kind of fox in any kind of representation, is now a Benjamin to us. So this one is, I'm gonna name her Benjamina, which I thought was very cute. And I want to put her name either on the bottom down here, or maybe on the top, or like I don't know, something. I was thinking of stitching her name on it, but I'm not sure. But I love this fabric. If you can't tell, I love like fall colors, jewel tones, that kind of thing. Okay, and then I have one more project in here. And then I started it, and I never really worked on it anymore. And I don't know, let me see if I have a picture. It's pretty though, I should work on it some more. That's what I say about every piece. No, I don't. Yes, I do. I do have a picture. Okay. This is the 2020 Pandemic Sampler by Sarcy Girl. I think she had it as a free sampler. I don't know if she does anymore. But this is what it will look like when it's done. It's a big girl. I don't really do a lot of big projects. Well, I say that. I don't do a lot of big sampler style projects. Very pretty. Very pretty. I love it. But I didn't get that far because when I started this piece, it was the first time I bought the Mrs. Sadis silk pack for it. The first time I ever used Mrs. Sadis for anything. And it was the first time I bought a Fox and Rabbit fabric. If I can find Elephant Run. Elephant Run 36 count Fox and Rabbit, and I had never stitched on 36 count at that time, so it was very difficult for me. Like, I was very like, this is weird, this is hard, I can't see it enough. But now that I've done a lot more projects on 36 count, I'd probably like it better. But also the Mrs. Sadis, looking back at it now, I remember the Mrs. Sadis silks, I was like, I don't know if I like the colors that much on some of it, but we'll see. I'm sure if I kept stitching it, I would like it. This is as far as I got. I did that little rooster and that butterfly. It was the border that I was kind of thrown off by, I think, that yellow. But I didn't get very far, as you can see. And I stitch in hand, so I prefer to start from, when I'm looking at it, from the right and go left with my stitching. Like, as far as I start on the right side of the project and go this way, it's easier for me flow stitches wise. So what I think I did was I started in the middle, went up and went over, and then started going back that way, so I could get a middle start. But it's a really, really big piece of fabric. It'll only be a big piece, but I don't know. It's one I really like the way it looks, but I don't know if I'll ever go back to stitching it, and I might UFO it. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway. Just very nervous doing this. It's easier once you start talking, but it's very nerve-wracking at the very beginning. Okay. So the next one I'm going to talk about is actually a restart I did. Give me just a moment to get a drink real fast. Okay. This is in a project bag I made myself. I love this fabric. It's like a Christmassy, but not. It's beautiful. I love it. And this is the Cathedral Woods Goddess by Mirabilia and Nora Corbett. This is what she looks like. She is beautiful. She is not the first Mirabilia I've started, but she is the first one that I've consciously wanted to like work on her and finish her. I bought her, I don't know, it was close to before COVID started, excuse me. I bought her, and then I started her in February of 2021. We had this really bad freeze here in Texas, in the Houston area, and a lot of people's water pipes busted, and it was just a horrible time. But I remember that when that was happening, when it was snowing outside and freezing, starting working on her, and we had actually lost power, which is so funny. I stitched her while having a flashlight, like one of those really bright stand-up flashlights. It's like they're like this tall and chunky, and I set it on the side table, and I was using the light to stitch. I remember that. At the time, I didn't have a neck light. Now I have a neck light, and it is great. It is great. You don't have to have, it's great. It's great. But I had started her on a piece of 32 count lamb's wool, and I hadn't really got that far. I think I had stitched on it for like 3 days worth of 2 or 3 days worth of time, so I hadn't really got that far. And I've been wanting to work on her, but I didn't really like how she was looking on that fabric. I didn't think that her dress and stuff were popping out enough, because the lamb's wool is a very cream fabric, and I love samplers, but I don't really like cream fabric that much. It's not my favorite. I like to stitch on other colored fabrics, or either like really light, like white, or something more interesting than a cream. I don't know why, I just do. That's my preference. So I saw recently, or earlier last year, that Bridget from the Museum Stitcher, she is stitching her Dark Queen of the Earth on Old Gold by who is this fabric by? I can't remember. I have it somewhere. I don't think it's Picture This Plus. I have it on my Instagram. I can't remember the dyer. But the fabric is called Old Gold, and I loved it. And I had already started my Dark Queen, so I was like, oh no, because I think she looks amazing on that fabric. She looks amazing on the fabric that's called for too, but the mustard yellow of the Old Gold really called to me in my palette that I like, and so I was like, oh, well, That's really sad. So I bought a piece of that fabric as soon as I saw her stitching it on there. I bought a piece of fabric because I was like, I love it. I'm going to find something to stitch on it. Well, then my birthday just recently passed. It's on December 30th. And leading up to my birthday, I was like, well, because my birthday is close to New Year's, and I was going to try to participate in the 12 by 12 in my own version of it, where I was going to work on 12 whips that I had currently, 1 an hour, but then it ended up turning into I had to work on my birthday, which was Friday. So I was like, oh well, I'll just stitch after work, and then I'll stitch the next day and celebrate my birthday that way, because I really wanted a day of resting and stitching for my birthday. That's what I wanted. And we ended up going to get dinner after work on my birthday, and so we ended up being out until like, I don't know, 10 or 11 o'clock or something, or 10 o'clock, something like that. And when we got home, I stitched for a little bit, I think before we left, and then I didn't really stitch anymore that night. So I was like, okay. So then for the 12 by 12, I decided to just stitch on one project for as many hours as I could. I didn't end up working on it for 12 hours, but I worked on it for probably 7-ish or 6-ish. Something like that, you know, with breaks for snacks and dinner and things like that. And I don't think I actually started working on her until about 3 o'clock. And then I worked on her until about midnight. So, but there was breaks in there, so I don't know. But this is where she is right now. I'm sorry, I talk a lot about stuff. I'm sorry. The color, there we go. That's more true to color. Look how pretty. I love her. I love how she's turning out. You can see the crinock in her. It's so pretty. Also, when I was stitching her on the lamb's wool, so on the lamb's wool I started, this is hard to do. I started on the bottom of her dress and moved up. And the problem I had was I miscounted somewhere, and I was gonna have to fudge it. And I will do that. I'm not gonna sit there and rip out a whole bunch of stitching. I'm not. But that was also just what's the word? Not disencouraging. Maybe that's the word. I don't know. It was not encouraging me to keep moving on her. And then when I saw this fabric, I loved it. So as you can see, that teal, it pops out so much better on this fabric. I'm so excited to see it come to life and work on her more. But I haven't worked on her that much in the last couple days because I've been trying to catch up with my Dark Queen of the Earth before we go to our first convention of the year, which was in I think in 2 weeks now. I think it's when the first one is this year. So this one I'm using all the called for threads, and I have them on Autumn Heart thread bobbins. These are really, really pretty. And I don't know if you've ever stitched with Karen water lilies. These are the 2 Karen water lilies that are called for in this piece. But they are so soft and they are amazing to stitch with. Like, I wish I could do the whole piece in Karen water lilies. Like, now I'm trying to find reasons to use silk flosses, because I've used them before and I always love how they feel, but in this one, I don't know what it is. The Karen water lilies are so lovely. But yeah, this is my favorite project I'm working on right now for the colors alone. I love the colors of it. It's beautiful, but I have other things I want to finish, so I haven't been working on it. Okay, and now we're gonna move on. I'm sorry, we're 43 minutes in. Now I'm gonna move on to the big basket of pieces I have right here. I have so many in here. Okay, I haven't worked on this one in a long time. This project bag I've also bought on Etsy, and I can't remember the bag designer, but it's so cute. It's little bees. It's got a little bee tassel. Anyway, this one I haven't gotten very far on. I don't know if I have a picture. Oh yeah, I do. This, sorry for the crinkles. This is, and I bought this because I love bees and I love the way this looks, but the designer is Elizabeth's Needlework Designs, which I thought was very fitting. It's called the Antique Bee Sampler. Very pretty. I'm not gonna put that back in there right now or I'm gonna mess it up. I have got a very pitiful start on this. This was another one where I started it and I was like not used to linen at that time, and yeah. But this is stitched on, let me see. Oh, it's also Bramble, okay. This is 32 count Bramble linen by Picture This Plus. And this was before I had started any of the ones I've already showed. So I wasn't used to Picture This Plus, and stitching on Picture This Plus in hand, you have to get used to it. It's not as very smooth. The weave is very, very tight. So it feels like you're like having to force your thread through some of it, which is kind of annoying, but I think the fabric is beautiful. So it's like a hard choice. Like, do I want to work on it or not? But now that I've pulled it out, I really want to work on it again. I love it. It's so pretty. But this Bramble is a lot darker than the other Bramble I have. I don't know if you can, that's kind of true to color right there. Yeah, but I want to work on it more. I just haven't. It's been in the basket and I haven't pulled it out. Okay, next one. Excuse me. This is a bag I made myself from some Halloween fabric at Hobby Lobby. No, not Hobby Lobby. Joann's. This is a Lizzie Kate pattern. I have not gotten very far on this at all. I did my own conversion, and this is one that, because I didn't get very far, I think I'm gonna not finish it. Oh, this is the inside. I did this striped fabric. I thought it looked really good with this. This is Ghosties and Ghoulies. Oh no, it's a Flip It series. Tingles. Ghosties and Ghoulies and Jack-o'-lantern. Do I have all the pieces? I don't know. The whole piece looks like this. Come on. Come on. Focus yourself. There we go. It's very cute. I really love it. I started at the very top up here with this haunted one. And the problem is, I don't know what it's stitched on. I couldn't tell you. 32 count something. Oh, here we go. Wait, no. No. I don't know. It's 32 count, and this is as far as I got. And at the time when I stitched it, when I started it, I wanted it to be very bright and pop, and like I pulled out my own threads. I think I actually used some of the threads that I can't think of her name right now. There's another Flosstuber, and I used to watch her, but she doesn't really make Flosstube videos anymore. And this is, I used the glow in the dark thread for it. But she does Halloween, she was doing Halloween pieces, and they were really bright and popped, and I was like, oh, that's so cute. I want to do one, and I started to do this one, and then I didn't like it that much, so I might restart it. This is a really big piece of fabric. Really big. But I don't know, maybe this year I'll pull it out and work on it again. I worked on this in 2021, so it's been a long time since I've touched this. But I might just save the fabric for something else and not stitch this on there. I don't know. But yeah, it's cute. I just haven't worked on it in a long time, and I don't know if I will, or if I'll rip it out and do something else on it. I don't know. Excuse me. Okay. thank you for bearing with me with all of this. Okay, this is another bag by the same, I'm sorry, it's the same person that made me this bag that I bought this bag from. I can't remember her name, but she makes excellent bags. This is a Halloween one. It's so cute. It has a little spider web tassel. And this was the Halloween Snarky Sal by, I think I got it on I think I saw it on Facebook, in a Facebook group I'm in. And I think this is from 2021 also. It says the Fernway Studio on here, but I'm not sure if that's the designer name she goes by. But it's just a really simple Halloween pattern. It says trick or treat. It's got like a little moon and a little skull or ghost or whatever you wanted to put on there. And I've gotten very far, so I probably should finish this year. I wanted to pull it out this past year and finish it, but I didn't. And I have a needle sticking in there. It's lovely. But it's on this really pretty purpley fabric. See, I've gotten very far. I just need to finish out the moon, the word treat, and it will be done. It's very cute. It's an orange and yellow moon, so that's the yellow part is done. I have to or the yellow part's mostly done. And this is, I think, a 32 count fabric. I don't know if I have a thing in here saying what the fabric is. No, I don't. I think it's a Picture This Plus, if I had to guess, but I don't know what color. Or maybe I bought it from her. I don't remember, but it's so pretty. I love it. Now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh my gosh, why didn't I finish that? I could finish that in like a night or two. And then I also have in here nothing. I have a pattern in here, but it's the project is not in this bag. Okay, that's good. Oh, in this bag there also she embroidered. Look, it says boo, y'all. I thought that was so cute. Anyway, Halloween and Christmas are my favorite. It's like a tie between the two, which one I like the most. I can't decide. But I should finish this one because it's very far. It's very close to being finished. I really should pull it out and finish it. Okay. The next one is in another bag by the same designer. I can't remember her name, but I can tell all her bags are made the same. They're like really thickly padded. They're really nice, really good quality. And she always puts a beautiful little zipper tag thing on them. And this has all of my my monthly pieces from their monthly mini samplers from the Heart Needle Art by Wendy. And I have finished a few of them. So there, I have the finished ones in the bag with it. So I finished August. I thought it was so cute. And I finished February. And this is on some 28 count Jobelin, I think, that I hand dyed myself. So pretty. I love it. But I haven't worked on these in a long time. And I have all of them like in little baggies with little threads I want to use in there. I have all of them ready to go, and I have all the fabric I've dyed and cut myself. Let me see. These are the two I finished. And I think I pulled out some stuff from my stash. So if you want to know what colors I used for those, just message me. But yeah, I've got all the fabrics ready to go. This is definitely a Jobelin. I used to love stitching on Jobelin, and now I still like it. but my preference has switched to linen now. I prefer linen in hand. But yeah, this is another one I want to get back to working on. I really love the yearly, like once a month pieces, like one for every month or one for each season. I love pieces like that, but I never finish them. So yeah, it is what it is. Okay. That's finishes. All right, this one is another bag I made myself. This is heart polka dots. And look at the very cute little zipper pull. I love him. Anyway, this is another innocent, oh no, this isn't Innocent Bones. This is Merry and Bright by Mama Witch Cross Stitch. I'm stitching it on 32 count fiber on a whim pistachio linen, and I barely started it. This is what it will look like when it's done. It's a super cute little Santa. And I barely started it, and I stopped working on it because I was afraid my teals and stuff in the Santa would not show up right. Okay. Sorry again, I haven't ironed it. But look how pretty that red pops on there. I was gonna work on him this year because I stitched the freebie, the little hippo freebie from the blue flower, I think. I stitched the hippo on this same fabric, and I love the hippo. I finished the hippo in a couple days. It was really easy, you know, a couple evenings of stitching. But I just was disencouraged. I keep saying that word. I wasn't loving how the colors were turning out on this fabric, but I think I like it now that I've looked at it again. So I've stitched like this little part of an ornament right here, and then part of him, and then his leg and stuff like that. So that's as far as I've gotten. I want to go back and work on him some more, but I haven't. And that's that one. I love the fabric he's on though. This blue color is beautiful. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. Moving on. This one is in a bag from, I had a care clippy on there. This is in a bag from Dark Side Bags. I believe her name is Jennifer. She's really nice. It's a Halloween bag. I love this bag. And this is the Leshy by the Witchy Stitcher. I have gotten really far on this one. I just haven't finished it. And again, I have hanging threads everywhere, so please ignore. And this fabric is, oh, I can't remember the name of this fabric, but I love this fabric. Sorry. Okay. So I've done all of everything, the bottom. That one side is completely done. The moon, this tree needs to be finished, and then the Leshy himself needs to be finished, and I'm done with this one. But I love this one. It's so pretty. I haven't worked on it in a while. It's a lot of color changing in the Leshy himself, so ignore my hanging threads. I don't know. I don't know. I just leave them, apparently. There's more hanging on the back right here. But yeah, I love this piece. This is tea and coffee dyed. I can smell it. It's very strongly smelled, but I did not dye it. It's from, I wonder if I have the piece thing in here that says it. I don't have it in here that says it. I can't remember. I have more of it in my stash of fabric. It's beautiful. But if you haven't seen what the Leshy looks like, the finished pattern, I recommend looking it up. I don't have a picture of it. It's very pretty. I love it. And then this one, there's another project in here. It's a small project. This is stitched on a 36 count Hyperion by Lapin Loops. I don't know if they dye fabric anymore. I hope they do. This piece, this little bitty piece I got, it was like an ornament size piece, I think, or maybe I cut off part of it. It's so cute. But this project is, I bought it on Etsy as a PDF. I think it's called Halloween Evil. And it's by Natty's Cross Stitch on Etsy. There we go. That's very true to what it looks like. Let me see if I can hold piece of paper behind it so you can see it better. There we go. I've gotten pretty far. I need to finish the cauldron. There's a witch right here, but this I think is as wide as it is. There's a tree here and a witch on this side. Or maybe the witch is on this side and tree here. I don't remember. One of the two. I think this is the witch though. But it's very cute. Very small. Again, I just haven't picked it up to work on it again. Started it a long time ago, probably in 2020 or 2021. And the Leshy I started not long after Witchy Stitcher released it. So I've been working on that one for a while. Okay. This one is in another project bag I made myself. It's little llamas. I bought this one and all the other like cacti ones in a little set of fabrics. They're fat quarters at Joann's. Sorry, I need a drink. 1 second. This is another piece by Barbara Anna. And this is like one of the few pieces I have on this like yellow creamy color. This is Garden Dreams, I think, or something like that. Garden of Dreams. And I'm very disappointed in myself for not finishing this yet. I've gotten very far on it. I'm using a Support Ukraine needle minder in here. But I've gotten very far on her. I just need to finish her up. I don't know. This is more true to color here. She's like a very creamy yellow. Let's see. There you go. Creamy yellow. I don't know. I think this is 28 or 32 count. I don't know what color I'm doing it on. Let me see. Yeah, she didn't call for any specific color. She just, it's 32 count Vintage Sahara, Belfast. And she didn't call for any specific color. She just said a 32 count neutral color linen. So I ordered this on 123 Stitch, I remember. But I've had it for a long time. I started it when the style came out. I started it along with it. And yeah, it's very pretty. I love all the bright colors. I want to finish her, but again, I have been distracted by other things. I have finished a couple Barbara Annas, you would not believe. But I'll show those in a different video. I love Barbara Anna. I love all her stuff. Okay, next one. This is in a bag I made myself. I love leopard print. And I love, look, it's a cute little donut. I don't know if you can see. Come on, focus, you camera. It's a cute donut with pink frosting. And this, the inside, I love it. I love this bag that I made myself. I love it. Okay, so this is stitched on a Silver Mist by Mystic Fabrics, 28 count Lagana. And this project is from the Flossy Fox shop. It's called Quilted Pond. And I bought this not long after she released it on Etsy. It is the cutest piece, but because it's a 28 count, it is big. And I probably should have stitched it on a smaller count fabric, but I think it's so cute. I love the ducks. I love the fish. I love the lily pads. This is as far as I've gotten. It's so bright and cute. I love it so much. I want to work on it some more. It's a very neutral, like light blue. I don't know. This is not really showing true to color on here. Let's see. Trying to get it where it will show. It's kind of, there we go. It's kind of like a really pale blue. You can see the white just fine in the duck's head, but I think he's so precious. I love it, and I want to work on it more now that it's getting to spring. Well, here it feels like spring. So maybe now, maybe around March, I'll start working on it again. I really want to pick it back up. I worked on it a lot last year. It's very cute. Some of these I forgot that I started, so I'm glad I'm doing this video. The next one. Where is my, makes me think, I don't know where my other one is. Okay. The next one, this is a bag, it's a Tula Pink fabric. The raccoons, I love them. Hair in my mouth, I'm sorry. Sorry for the noise. And this bag is also from Dark Side Bags. She did a Tula Pink bags one time, and I bought this from her. I love it. But this is the 2020 stitch along from Clouds Factory. It's the Grimm's Fairy Tale stitch along. I have gotten very far on it. I need to sit down and finish it. I stitched it on, do I have the little paper? Yes, it's a 28 count Jobelin watercress. I love this fabric. I don't know if I can find any more online. I bought it so long ago, and I bought it at my local needlework shop. But it's beautiful, and I love stitching on it. And I think that's part of why I haven't finished it, because I enjoy stitching on this piece so much that if I finish it, it will be sad for me. Because I love stitching on it so much. That's why I have so many WIPs, because my favorite part of stitching is the process. I love having finishes, don't get me wrong, but I love the process of stitching. It's so relaxing to me. Again, I have hanging threads, please ignore. I don't even know what this one is. I'm just gonna take that out. Okay. All right, so this is as far as I've gotten on this piece. I have gotten very, very far. It will be beautiful. I love it. I don't know if I want to frame it or make it into a pillow, but I love this piece so much. This was my first piece I ever really used a fancy floss on, and it was up here in the letters. And I love that thread. That's like my second favorite thread I've ever used. And in this one, the biggest mistake, the biggest change, I changed the horse to a fancy floss. And then in here, I messed up counting in this little like row of radishes. You can't really tell, I kind of fudged it, but I messed up. And yeah, but I love this piece. I love the colors. It's so pretty. That's showing very true to the color of the fabric right there. It's such a pretty tealy green. I love it so much. But yeah, it's one of my, not my oldest WIP, but it's one of my oldest WIPs. I've gotten very far on it. Every once in a while I'll get in the mood and I'll put some stitches in. But yeah, I love it. I do want to finish it, but I don't want to finish it. But yeah. Okay. And then this one, hold on, let me fix that. Sorry. Bear with me. Okay, this one is in a bag I made myself. I love this like super 70s print. And this project I saw Lindy Stitches stitched it, And I don't normally stitch a lot of samplers. As you can see, I don't have very many. They're always so big, and there's so many things I want to stitch. I love looking at them, but it's not my cup of tea to stitch it, and that's okay. I love them. I think they're beautiful, but there's some I really like and I will stitch, and some that I won't. This one is one that I saw and I thought it was so quirky. I loved it, and I had to stitch it, and I had to stitch it like Lindy stitches. And I looked online for the pattern, and I found it, but I thought it was a little pricey, so I wasn't sure if it was out of print or not. So one day I was at my local needle workshop and I saw it there, and I was like, I'm getting it. And so I bought the pattern. I had ordered the fabric she used from it's XU Designs fabric, Farm Eggs, I believe. And this is called Dame's Boarding School. Is that the name of the pattern? Let me see. Is it called Dame's Boarding School? I think so. Yes. It's called Dame's Boarding School. And I'm not sure who the designer is. I don't have the original copy in this bag. My original copy is put up in my stash. But I just have the printed like little color thing. So in this one, I loved how Lindy Stitches stitched this, so I had to stitch it like her. I haven't gotten that far on it, but that's okay. I thought it was so quirky. I love the coloring, the peacock color, this one. I love this color so much. And this is where I've got on the bottom. There's a house right here, and this little blue, that's the house fill in. There's another house by this doggy right here. I love the Farm Eggs fabric. I think it's beautiful. There we go. That's pretty true to color right there. And it's a big girl. It's a big girl. So I love it. I haven't had the motivation to work on it. I've had other things has been pulling me to it. But one day this will get done. I really love how quirky it is. And every time I look at it, I'm like, oh, I want to work on that again. But again, because samplers aren't my like favorite thing to work on, it's like one of the last things I will pull out, which is kind of sad, but it's just what I'm drawn to. I don't know. Okay, we're almost done. I only have a couple left. Thank you for sticking with me and watching this chaos mess. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we have 6 left. I think. Okay, this is another bag by Dark Side Bags that I bought from her. It's a Halloween bag. It's just a plaid Halloween. And this one is here's a picture of it. It's Dracula's Confession by Lindy Stitches. And I am doing this version here. And I'm stitching it on the called for Murky by Picture This Plus 32 count. And again, this was one that I hadn't really stitched on anything smaller than 28 count at that time when I started it, so it was really hard for me to get used to it, but I've gotten pretty far. I was laughing at my needle minder on here. Okay, using the called for threads. That cactus needle minder says free hugs. But yeah, I'm using the called for threads. It's really pretty. It was the first time I'd ever bought a dinky dies to use to stitch on something with, and I really enjoy that. It's beautiful, but I just haven't picked it up again because at the time it was really hard for me to see it. But now I don't know if it's in here. I don't know where it's at. This is interesting. Oh no, we have a whole other bag of stuff. I'm sorry, I have so many. I also this year worked on the the Clouds Factory dinosaur stitch along, and I have that. I'll show y'all momentarily when I get to it. But that one was on a dark green fabric, and that was really hard for me to see and stitch on, so I had to only stitch on it in daylight. And I think now I can stitch on almost any color without having any problems, because that one was so difficult. Okay, this is another one that I really want to work on, but I haven't. I made this bag myself. It's a cute little constellation thread or fabric. This is from Sleeping Luna Designs, and it's the Sailor Moon style she did a few years ago. I haven't gotten that far, as we can see. I might not finish this piece, even though it's beautiful. I love the design, but it's just so much stitching. This is on a piece of 28 count Jobelan that I hand dye myself. That's pretty close to color. It's light, like a baby blue that I dyed myself. And the needle minder was a hair clip I found on Etsy. I pulled the back off and made a magnet on it. It's a little Buzz Lightyear. It's so cute. Anyway. And I think I'm using the called for threads for that one. Okay. And then this one is a very pitiful start also. A bag I made myself from Joann's Fabrics. And this is Arranging Microbes from Ink Circles. And I love this piece. It says wash your hands. This is what it looks like. I love this piece, but again, I have never worked on it except for one day. And I still have the sticker on here from 123 Stitch. It's a 32 count white opalescent Belfast. You can kind of see the shimmer. That's as far as I got. The needle's still in there and everything. It's great. Great start. I don't know what my drawback was, but I just started it and didn't keep going. But I do love it. It's beautiful. I want to work on it some more. I really want to finish it and put it in a glass frame and put it in the bathroom. I don't know if that's weird, but that's what I want to do with it. Anyway. What are you? Oh, okay, that's a kit. That's something I kitted up. That's not a whip. This is a kitted up thing. And then, okay, I have this whip too. So this is the Chopping Mall style from Witchy Stitcher. I started it in 2019 when she released it. It is not finished yet, and it's probably my oldest whip. But this is how I have this. I made this bag myself. I store the pattern in here, and I store all the threads in here because this was back when I used bobbins. And I worked on this a lot in 2021. My mom had surgery and I had to go and stay with her and help her. And at that time I had only finished part of the rooms on this. And I pulled this out and I started working on the top of them all. And it's very dense stitching. This is on a 28 count. 28 count, I'm pretty sure it's a Jobelan. I don't know what the color is. It's a very light, yeah, that's very true to color. It's a very light green. And this is as far as I've gotten. So when I was stitching it, when she released all the pieces, I got the 3 rooms done to the top. And then I didn't do the top of it yet, but now all this top section, almost the entire top section is done. I did while my mom had surgery and she was recovering. But yeah, I love it. I think it's great. I love this piece. It's for my husband. We hadn't been dating that long when she released it. There we go. That's very true right there. It's so pretty. We had only been dating a few months when this came out, and he was like, I love Chopping Mall. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'll stitch this for you. I love this piece, but we joke that I'm never going to finish it. So I don't know. We'll see. I would love to finish it. I love working on it. One day I will finish it. Okay. And I have one more bag of projects, only a couple projects left, and then we'll be done. Again, thank you for watching this. Thank you for bearing with me. I hope that you enjoy my video. I hope that some of my whips have inspired you to start new stitchy projects. Because like me, I want to stitch all the things. So maybe you're like me too. Sorry, I'm just putting things back in this basket. Hold on. Bear with me. Okay. And then I have this bag of projects that I keep next to my bed. Oh, sorry, I moved the camera. I stitch sitting here in bed a lot. That's just where I'm comfortable at right now, and so I have like this little space between my nightstand and the bed, and I keep this bag right now. It's this bag. It's a mermaid bag, reusable bag, full of whips, and then anything in here is what I pull out the most to work on, except for how I've had it lately is I put this down there, and then I put ones like I'll have this sitting, and then I'll have some whips sitting right on top of it, and those are the ones I'll grab first. So the ones in here haven't gotten any love lately, but they need to. I like to join a lot of sales, but never finish them, as you've probably noticed, so yay for me. This is another bag from, I'm pretty sure from Dark Side Bags. It's Littlefoot from Land Before Time. So cute. I thought it was super fitting to stitch the Clouds Factory Stitch Along in last year. And this is the dinosaur Sal. I used the called for, I think I used the called for fabric. I think so. I can't remember. And I was caught up on this for a while. I was working on it all the time, and this really beautiful dark green. I think I stayed caught up with it for like until July, I think, or something. And then I fell off the wagon. Look, this is where you started at in the middle right there, and I love that. It's so cute. But yeah, it's just, I don't know if you can tell, but it's really hard to see. It's so dark, and if I don't have natural light, it's really not gonna happen. Like, I bought a light pad to put underneath it to help, and that didn't help me enough, and I just was getting really frustrated. I don't know. I love it. I love how bright the colors are. I love the dinosaurs. I love this piece. I don't know if I'll ever finish it. I joke with my husband and told him that if we have a baby, I'll finish it for the nursery, but I don't know. But yeah, this is my dinosaur Sal, and maybe one day I'll finish it, and who knows. But it lives in this bag for right now. But yeah, there's that one. And then this one I made myself. These beautiful butterflies. And I have a little butterfly for Michael's. And this is the Under the Sea Sal from Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. And I love it. It's beautiful. I dyed the fabric myself. I had started stitching it. So the reason why I got behind was I started stitching it on a Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers fabric that I had gotten. And it's the unicorn one, I think is what it's called. It's beautiful. I loved it. But I didn't like the way this was looking on that. So I decided, hold on, technical difficulties. Okay. Why did that happen? Where's the back of the needle binder? I don't know. I decided, here, I'll show you. This is where I got you the first time. I got pretty far, the first part. And I thought it was too pink and too sunset-y looking for what I wanted. So I decided to dye my own fabric. I bought a piece of white opalescent. I dyed it this really pretty baby blue. And I love how this piece is turning out, but I haven't worked on it in so long because I started working on the Dark Queen of the Earth, and there's a lot of threads hanging off this, so I'm sorry in advance. I started working on the Dark Queen of the Earth, and I haven't been back to this one. Maybe as we get closer to summer, I'll work on this one again this year. I'm not sure, but I love it. It's beautiful. And now that I'm looking at it, I'm scared it's not gonna fit on this fabric. Well, that would be lovely. But this is as far as I've gotten. I saw somebody on the Facebook group changed her colors of her people, like their clothing and their hair and stuff, and I really liked how bright they were. So I was like, can you please tell me the colors you used? And she did, and it was lovely, and I used them also. I also messed up down on the bottom there where the coral is, but I don't think you can really tell. But yeah, I love it. They're so cute. I want to finish this, but now I'm scared that I'm not going to have enough room going this way to finish the rest of it. Maybe I should finish out to the edge just to make sure it all fits. Anyway, there's that one. And then I have 2 more and then we're done. So thank you again for watching me. I hope you enjoyed. At the end, I'm going to talk about some Flosstubers I watch, and I have notes that I have, but I can't see them. So anyway, if you want to stay, thank you for staying and watching me babble about cross stitch and my nerdy passions. Okay, there's that one. All right, 2 more. This is a bag I made myself from some fabric I got at Michael's. And this is 2 in 1. So this is the Witchy Stitchers Cryptid Sal and the Supernatural Sal. I'm going to show you the Cryptid Sal first. Again, I don't have pictures of what they look like because I just don't, but I've gotten very far on the Cryptid Sal. I'm using the called for fabric. I bought it from her website. I did the whole frame except for the moons on the side. Oh, well, I haven't finished them all the way, but I almost did. And then I've stitched every frame for all the creatures, all the cryptids, but just not the cryptids yet. The cryptids don't take me very long to do. This one is halfway finished because I messed up on him. But yeah, I love this piece. It's beautiful. And when she did the Supernatural one, I was like, holy crap, I gotta do that one too. So, same fabric. I am very behind, like extremely behind. So what happened on the Cryptid Sal is, I don't know, I messed up, you can't tell, but I messed up where, how far down these are from here, so that down here, it's not the right distance away. So, or something like that, as I messed up on it. And I was really upset by that, even though you can't tell and it looks great. It really irritated me when I found out. So on the Supernatural Sal, I was like, okay, I'm not gonna stitch the border until I've done all the inside. And that's why I'm not that far. Again, I have hanging threads because I always do. And this is as far as I've gotten on this one. I changed the Jen's colors. I think she looks beautiful. I love the zombie. I did really good in the beginning. The first 4 weeks, I was great. I stayed caught up. I did the zombie in a night, in one evening. I finished the zombie. But then, as we can see, I got very behind. And I haven't worked on it since. So one day I'll work on it. But today's not that day. I love them. They're beautiful. This is the same fabric. This needle minder is from Top Knot Stitcher. I love Abby's store. I buy stuff from her all the time. But yeah, and in both of these, I changed the black and all the words to the Etoile black, the 310. And yeah, I love these. I just, again, I stitch on them when I'm in the mood for it, and as soon as the Supernatural one started, I haven't worked on the cryptids since then. So, but I probably will finish the cryptids first because I'm further along on that one. Okay, and one more. So this last one is stored in a one of those Amazon zip up bags. It's in really bad condition. Don't judge me. And this has all of the Cottage Garden Samplings, You're in the Woods pieces in it. So I saw the fox. And of course I named him Benjamin because of my Benjamin thing. And I loved him. I just really hesitated on starting it because I was like, okay, I have so many WIPs already. Do I really want a whole new year of WIPs that has one WIP or one project a month? And then I kept seeing people on Instagram stitch him, and I was like, yes, I do. So I'm stitching this on, I watched Mama Loves You GB Michelle, her dyeing video, or well, the video where she talks about how she dyes the fabric for these. I followed her, and I dyed the fabrics just like she did, on 36 count Edinburgh white linen that I dyed myself on all of them. And I bought one piece for each, so I could dye it, so I could have them all on their own. This is how far I've gotten on the fox. I have gotten very far. But again, I stitch on this when I get in the mood, and I haven't been in the mood lately. This is what he'll look like when he's done. This is the tag for the fabric, so I could remember what I stitched it on. And I haven't started all of them. So I started him. I think I started one for each season. That was my goal at the time. I started the bear. Sorry. So there's the bear. I have all the threads and stuff in the back for them. I keep them all in bags like this inside this bag. And I didn't get very far. I think this is the top. That's kind of true to color right there, but as far as I got on the bear. I really like stitching on these because they're all individual. I just have to be in the mood to work on them, and I haven't been lately. And then I started the raccoon. So I haven't started one for the fall. I started one for summer. No. The winter, spring, and summer ones. I didn't start a fall one. Yeah, that's right. Okay. This is the raccoon. I love the raccoon. So cute. And this is another one I dyed myself. I have threads hanging off of it. But as you can see, I might work on this one some more in the spring. And I think the snowmans they're doing for 2023 are so cute. But I live in Texas and it doesn't really snow here, and snowmen don't work for me. Like, they don't. If it was sand snowmen, maybe. But no, I'm not big on snowmen, so I won't be doing those. But I think they're beautifully designed. The first one, the needleworker one, is so cute. But yeah, that's all my WIPs I have to show. Thank you very much for joining me and watching me in this chaotic mess. I would like to mention my plans I have and some Flosstubers I watch. So if you want to stick around and hear that, thank you. And if not, if you want to go ahead and go, thank you so much for watching so far. I really wanted to do this to make some stitchy friends. I don't really know anyone other than my sister that cross stitches too, and she's not nearly as into it as I am. So yeah, I would love to hear from people, love to hear what your thoughts are, if you have any opinions. But yeah, again, thank you for watching. I would like to mention Flosstubers I watch. I don't watch a ton of Flosstube, and I'll get in moods where I watch it a lot, and then moods where I don't watch it for weeks and weeks, and I'll go back and like binge watch their videos. But my favorite Flosstuber is probably Michelle from Mama Loves You GB. I love watching her. I love all of the stuff she stitches. I love all the projects she does. I don't know, she says she's chaotic and stuff, but I feel like, yes, that's me. That's that's me. And I watched her Christmas vlogs, Vlogmas that she did, and the House of Captured Children. That was so funny to me. So yeah. Let's see. I also love watching Bendy Stitchy Michelle. I love watching her videos. I've watched her for a long time, on and off here and there, and I really like her vibe. I really like I just like listening to her and like seeing what she's stitching and working on. I recently started watching Cameron from Cam the Stitcher. I really like her channel. I like watching her stuff. And then I like watching Marjorie from Marjorie Made. And I also watch Alba Stitcher. I love watching her stuff. I mentioned earlier Bridget Museum Stitcher. I watch her stuff too. I think it's really cool to see people that are younger, a little bit younger, like around my age, stitching as well, because like again, I don't really know anyone, especially like in person, that stitches, so it's just really cool to me to see a bunch of different groups of ages that stitch, because I love that. I think it's really unique. And then of course Lindy stitches, Stephanie. I love watching her videos. I just love her personality. She's so quirky and funny, and I love watching her. So yeah. And her hair, oh my god, I love her hair. Love her hair. Okay, so plans. I have bought the fabric, so I don't know if anybody has seen the new stitch along, the temperature stitch along that I can tell you if you give me 1 second. Where is it? Here we go. No. By Sprouting Lupine. She's doing a new temperature stitch along this year. It's like a bird one where it's got trees and little birds, and you do the temperature colors in the birds. It's so pretty, but last year she did the Quaker Basket sampler temperature sow. I've never done a temperature sow, but I saw it last year way after she started it for January, and I was like, oh my god, I love that. It's so beautiful, and so simple, but I love it. And the other day she showed in her Instagram stories the fabric she chose for the new birds one she's doing, and it's this brown, I believe it's Picture This Plus fabric, and I loved it, and with the cream for the trees, I thought it was beautiful. So I was like, okay, I am going to stitch the temperature sow, but I'm gonna do the Quaker one with that brown fabric. So I bought the fabric, and I bought a sage, it's called sage, a silk, it's called sage. It's like a very light green. I bought that, and I'm gonna do the outline of the Quaker thing in that one, and maybe if I make another video you'll see I started it. I'm hoping. I want to at least do the January box and get that ready to go. That fabric should be here soon. And then I also got the Creepy Cross Stitch book for Christmas from my husband. It is, if you haven't seen it, look it up. The patterns in there are beautiful. There is a piece in there, it's called, I think Together Forever is what it's called. Actually, is my book right here? I think so. Let me see. Sorry, crinkles. Yeah, here we go. Okay, this is the book here. Creepy Cross Stitch from Lindsay, from Tuscan Cardinal. That's her name. And I saw that somebody did, oh, it's not called Together Forever. It's called Lover's Graves. And I love it so much. I want to stitch it as like our wedding sampler thing, our wedding piece. So I'm going to start that, I think. I don't know if I'll start that between now and my next video, but I have bought the thread for it. I just gotta decide on a fabric and stuff like that. But yeah, I want to stitch that. That's my plans. And then I also I watched Marjorie Maid's video. I think it was her WIP Parade, or maybe just her most recent Flosstube, I can't remember, where she showed that she started on Kathy Barrick's Good Intentions. I have never stitched a Kathy Barrick piece. I love her stuff, but it's very intimidating to me because they're all very big. So when I saw it, I've seen it before, I just didn't really pay attention. I saw it and I was like, oh my God, I love it. But what I want to do, let me see if I can show you. I think I have it on my favorites on Etsy. Hold on. No, maybe it's in my cart. Let's see. I'm gonna buy the PDF. Yeah, here we go. So this is what the, hello, stop. I'm sorry, bear with me. Etsy is going crazy. I don't want this. Okay. Here we go. This is what it looks like. I can't see what I'm showing you. Okay, so the top part up there, it says, I myself am made entirely of flaws stitched together with good intentions. And I love that saying so much. So what I want to do is just stitch that part. I actually like stitching word letters. Some people don't, I do. But I want to stitch that part, and I want to make a drum out of it. So that's my plan, but I'm going to get the pattern soon. And then, and the other plans I have is just to continue working on the Dark Queen of the Earth and hopefully get caught up before February. But we'll see. Anyway, but that's all I have. Thank you for watching and listening to me. And I was very nervous, so yeah. I'm sorry if you stayed the whole time. Thank you. This is a very long video. I thought it would be because it's my first one. It was WIP Parade. I have other WIPs hiding somewhere. I just don't know where they are, but this is all I could find right now. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I will see you and hear from you soon. All right, bye-bye.